You know what, Hunter? This is serious. All right?
We're going to go over this again? We're going to do this one more time?
I just want to know why, just once, you can't understand the position that I'm in. All right? You need to understand, I go to the Royal Rumble, I win, I have got a guaranteed shot at The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You know how much this means to me. I'm asking you just once to look at it from my position. I need this. I want my shot at him. I want my shot to end the streak. Now, is that too much to ask? We're friends. Is that too much to ask?
Here's the thing, Sean. Yes, it is too much to ask. This is the Royal Rumble. You want to talk about it being serious? You're damn right it's serious now. For the last 6 months, we've been telling jokes, running around, making everybody laugh. It's Rumble time. That's all over. The Rumble is about two things: getting a shot at a championship and being in the main event at WrestleMania. Everybody in this company, that should be their goal. And if it's not, you know as well as I do, they shouldn't even be here. Now, I know better than anybody how much you want The Undertaker. I've watched you agonize over it for a year, Sean. But I want that title shot. I want to go to WrestleMania in the main event. And here's the thing. We can go to the Rumble, and you and I can work together, and we can throw 28 other guys over the top rope and probably do it pretty easily. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down then to you and me. And I'm just letting you know, we're friends, and we will always be friends, Sean. But if I got to step on your dream to get to mine, then that's exactly what I'm going to do.
This is Levi Cooper, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks with DB, Primo, and AJ.
What is up, everybody? It is Royal Rumble week, and I'm excited to say the least. Welcome, everybody, to the Sit Down Marks podcast. This is episode number 48. I got my marks here with me, Primo and AJ. What is going on, my guys?
You know, Rumble is cool and all, but when are we going to go to our first cricket match?
I got us tickets to one the night after the Rumble.
You are a dirty goddamn liar, and I've had enough of.
We got to go to India for it, though.
Partial to curling.
You think we can make it to India?
Yeah.
In time for the cricket match on Sunday?
I have bottled water. Let's go. I have a Venom coffee mug.
Very nice Venom coffee mug. You are in the Spider-Man spirit. What's going on, Primo? What's happening, brother? You ready to hit the road to St. Louis, man?
I am so excited. I've been thinking about it all week. I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
I am ready to go. I've watched so much wrestling this past week, more than the allotted amount.
More than this pod makes you.
Right. Right. I actually
more than
watched
the allotted amount.
I even watched NWA on YouTube.
Oh, very nice.
Man,
Yes.
I was watching all kinds of wrestling. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love the new NWA logo, the kind of pink, kind of retro looking one they got on. I went on the verge of buying that T-shirt, but last time I was on Pro Wrestling Tees, I should have it on, but I bought our buddy Hartenbauer's shirt came in the mail, so got that in the mail. Going to be rocking that out.
The
So
Hartenbauer power.
Hartenbauer power, yeah. AJ got his as well. So yeah,
Watch how fast I go.
Is his closet right next to his computer desk?
It must be. He must be going. He got his, but he didn't show us yet. So that
He's
might
like
be
Clark
what he's
Kent.
going to go grab. But
He's going into the phone.
yeah,
booth.
Pro Wrestling Tees, Hartenbauer, Big Beef, all those guys have been on our show. As I ad lib while AJ grabs his T-shirt.
His T-shirt. Well, I mean, if you want to talk about T-shirts, you could also sit down Mark's T-shirts too.
Ooh, very, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Yep, check.
And that's not Pro Wrestling Tees. That's tpublic.com/stores/sit down Marks.
And there is AJ right now with his Hartenbauer shirt on. Somebody screenshot that, tweet him while I'm talking. We got to get Hartenbauer to check that out, man, as AJ is wearing the Hartenbauer shirt, man. So, yeah, go check him out. So, all right, first, as we go here, you guys know who these guys are, AJ and Primo, my co-host here. But it's been a minute, man. So let me bring back Big Beef here to warn all the people that don't listen to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
The Beefster here, and I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
Right, nobody knows like the Beef knows. Been a little while, but Beef is back out there on the circuit. So make sure you check out a show when Big Beef is in town. All right. So
yeah, speaking of Big Beef, real quick,
yeah.
Word on the street is next time he runs into little DB and AJ, you're both getting a beefy bomb at the same time.
At the same time.
At the request of good old Primo.
It's pretty impressive that I believe that he could do it too.
Apparently, AJ, there's a beefy bomb bounty on
That's
our
right.
heads, if you will.
I requested a beefy bomb, and
that's why I tweeted back, AJ. I said, "Stay ready, man." Because,
I am.
Get ready.
Like I was sitting on my couch when I read that, and I immediately went like this.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
what?
Big Beef is just lurking in the hedges.
Like, is he here now?
Yeah, he's going.
He's over in the corner of my house,
We're gonna pull
like,
up
with a
to Park
lampshade.
next time at a show, and we're gonna be looking for him when we get out of the car. Like, yeah. So watch out. But thanks, Beef. Glad to see you back on the trail, man. But I want to thank our sponsors right now. Coastland Apparel. Go to coastlandapparel.com. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off your order. And I want to thank our good buddy Jet Designs out there cranking out those fire custom die casts each and every week. So hit up Jet Designs on Facebook. Yep, just like I said at JET Designs, and get that custom die cast rolling here. All right, boys. I'll tell you what, man. It's a big one coming up this week. But before we get to that, I want to thank everybody listening on all of our podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You know the gig, many, many more. But also, we want to thank everybody listening over on SportzWire Online Radio on Fridays at 6:15, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, and throughout the week. We want to thank everybody that listens on SportzWire Radio each week. We want to thank Thomas Bryce for always playing our pod. So check it out. We appreciate everybody listening there. And we want to also ask you to please tell a friend, leave us a great 5-star review on whatever platform you listen from. Tell a friend, tell 2 friends, tell 8 friends. You know, if you're going to the Royal Rumble this week and you see us there, say hello, man, because we're looking forward to possibly meeting some fans this weekend. So, but speaking of the Royal Rumble, as we're going to be speaking a lot, only 3 days away, boys.
Woo!
3. We bought these tickets a long time ago.
A long time ago. Good thing it didn't get shut down.
Thank Jeebus.
It is. I want to say too, man. You know how things work out sometimes, man. It's funny, but big listener of the show, Dylan, who we've become friends with, at shows and stuff like that. He's doing a late run in. We actually had an available ticket, so he's going with us now. Hot tag, he comes in, so he's going to be sitting with us, man. And I'm super fired up to go to a big show with Dylan, man. We're going to finally get that picture, but we're going to be at a WWE show, which we thought we'd get that picture made with him at like an indie show, but nonetheless, man, fired up for Dylan to go with us. What about you guys?
I will get to meet him also because I'll be there live and in person. It won't just be the 2/3 of you; it'll be the other third.
Oh yeah, you haven't met him yet. I forgot
Oh.
about that. Cool guy. He's awesome.
I'll finally get to meet him in person as well, so that's neat. And it should be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited. We're all excited. I'm
full squad.
Stoked. Like I can't express enough how excited I am.
Yeah. Full squad, man. I'm excited, man. And nothing's gonna get us get your adrenaline going is the pop of the pod that I got for you here today. This one's a good one, man. This is this guy, they're calling him the modern day Jeff Hardy. He's been getting the Sting rub for, about a year now, guys, probably.
Yeah,
something
almost.
like that. One of the hottest young wrestlers in the world. Everybody loves to watch this guy
I was probably
wrestle.
putting him over before that.
You probably was. He's reckless. He's fun to watch. He's one of the alleged 4 pillars of AEW. This one is Darby Allin.
I don't sleep 'cause my head's on fire. I hate creeps and I hate liars. Oh, you.
It's very
Let that roll. The best part of the song is when the guy starts singing. Let it roll. That's my favorite part. You don't have that. Anyway, pop of the pod today, Darby Allin, man. When that song hits the screen there, it gets everybody rolling. All right, AJ, big day in birthdays in wrestling. What else happened today in history, brother?
Well, today in wrestling history, it is January 26th, I believe.
Correct.
We have
out there
in 1904 when
sweet.
Dirty Bird was, churning the butter, making the biscuits for the homestead.
Right. That's when I was learning how to make the hats.
Yes.
Made in the 20s.
Yes. That's for your later career as a
1904, good year.
So in
penny from the year.
it was a great year. I believe Teddy Roosevelt invented the national park system in that year.
Maybe he did, but that's none of your business.
Why would it be none of anyone's?
I mean, we're Americans. We're all Americans here.
I've been to a national park.
We are. I'm feeling nostalgic here. You're talking my era.
Were you there for the ribbon cutting ceremony?
Each and every week. As usual.
He took the trolley to the ribbon cutting ceremony. Only cost him a nickel.
He sent telegrams to everyone.
I took a camel to the trolley.
National Park opening. Stop. You're not invited. Stop. Mind your business. Stop.
Moving on.
In 1904 in Yarmouth, Massachusetts.
Get out.
Gentleman Gene O'Shaughnessy defeated Stinkbug Steve Gorlami to become the first ever North American Daughters of the French Revolution Tits and Ass Championship. There was nothing.
You just said Tits and Ass Championship.
That's a badass championship.
I tell you what, though, that name that you said, what was that name?
Which one?
The one starting with an S.
Gene O'Shaughnessy?
No, the other one. The
Stinkbug Steve Gorlami.
Yes, that is my new favorite for a wrestler nickname all time. He just now surpassed Haystacks Calhoun as my favorite name of all time.
Stinkbug.
Oh, Stinkbug Gorlami. Obviously, I made that up.
Can we get him on the podcast, please?
Oh, he's retired.
He'll remember me.
He whittles. Obviously, there was nothing that old. I couldn't find. I looked everywhere for something that happened pre-1987, and I
was hoping you'd say, like, in this date, 1905, like Stingray Graham, Winchester won the inaugural Royal Rumble, and
he invented the Royal Rumble right next to Pat Patterson.
Yep.
Oh, dope.
So in actual history today,
thank you.
We have in 1999, WWF Halftime Heat debuted and quickly disappeared. What this was was during the halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
WWF was like, no, we're going to have counter programming. So they did a one-match card, which saw Mankind beat The Rock in an empty arena match.
Did y'all watch this?
No, I did
live?
not.
Did you watch it live? No.
No.
I did,
all I remember is that I remember it happening,
mm-hmm.
and then I remember it bombing so horribly that they never did it again. Like, no one switched over.
So this was during the Super Bowl halftime show of 1999?
Yes, Super Bowl
so
halftime show.
They competed with it was called, their halftime show for that year was a celebration of soul, salsa, and swing.
Hell yeah. That's when, like,
the big bad voodoo daddy.
Uh-huh.
Zuzu Riot.
Stevie Wonder and Gloria Estefan.
Oh,
they were in Miami,
show.
probably. They were in Miami, probably.
I think they were in Miami.
It was in Miami, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason you have Gloria Estefan is halftime show.
So
I mean, she's great, but she
only in Miami.
Yeah, big pop Miami.
In 2014,
big pop.
Batista won the Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But in other news that day, it was CM Punk's last appearance in a WWE ring because he was gone following night. He was like, fuck you, I'm out.
Fuck you. You're cool.
You're cool. I'm out. He pointed to The Rock when he said you're cool because they're still buddies.
Right.
And then in 2015, Raw was canceled for just the second time in company history because of inclement weather in Connecticut. Apparently, there was a giant blizzard with things, and
we got one of those coming in this weekend.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Good thing you're coming to the Midwest because it's supposed to be nasty.
Yeah, and then you're going to drive back to it.
I just got to drive back into it on Sunday.
Yeah, you're coming back. Yeah, the weather in the Midwest is actually looking pretty good this weekend, like 35. Yeah, when I say pretty good, I mean no precipitation.
Yeah, no blizzards.
It'll be chilly
and stuff. And then in 2020, Drew McIntyre threw out Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. There's like 18 Royal Rumble winners today. I just
right. On this day,
it's the Rumble season.
So birthdays, we have Michael Hegstrand. Who's that? Dirty Bird.
That would be the one called Hawk.
Yes,
one Road Warriors.
This day in 1957, it was his birthday. Yeah, I actually had to do some research on this because apparently there were some websites that listed it as Animal's birthday in 1957. Some websites listed it as Hawk's birthday in 1960. And then some listed as both of them in 1960. And I was like, okay, what is this? It's today, 1957, Road Warrior Hawk.
Yep. Love Hawk, man.
Also in 1973, we have Robert Kellum. Do you guys know who that is?
Robert Kellum. Sounds familiar.
It is the maestro from WCW.
Really?
One of the worst goddamn gimmicks in the history.
Okay, I wouldn't have come up with that.
No, it's terrible. He was shat onto this earth in 1973. In 1992, we have Boss Time Sasha Banks. And then...
Mouse. Love some Sasha.
In 1929, your boy, Gordon Sully's birthday. Born this day in 1929.
Let me do this properly. I want to take my hat off while you say that one more time, AJ.
In this day, in 1929, Gordon Sully was brought into this world. Hooray for Gordon Sully.
Very well said. Let me tell you about Gordon Sully, though. I mean, like, there's wrestlers that get you interested in wrestling. There's, gimmicks, things that happen. Gordon Sully was the sound of my childhood in wrestling. No, it wasn't 1909 or 04 or whenever it was, but
Tits and Ass Championship.
Yeah. But what I grew up on was watching Gordon Sully call wrestling. When the camera turned to him, you could see the cigarette smoke burling up while he talked about, the wrestling and what was going on. But he just had a sound like it still draws me in, man. Like I could watch you two wrestle. I mean, well, that would be fun to watch, but let's just say, random nobody else, right? This will rant on nobody else. If Gordon Soley's calling it, I'll sit there and listen to it all day, man. That's like how much he enamored me and was just like so good. My dad was a big fan of it. My dad actually got to meet him one time, was really cool. You know, a brief meeting, you know, but you know, it was always cool to him that like he felt like when he met Gordon that, you know, he was meeting royalty of wrestling, which is absolutely true.
I was going to say, that's true.
Yeah. So it was really, really, really cool. So, you know, when it pops up of his birthday, it always reminds me, hey, you know, this is why I love this shit, you know, guys like him.
I didn't know this, but Jim Ross cites him as the most significant influence on his entire career, Gordon Soley. Also, he died 22 years ago. I didn't know he died that long ago. I thought it was more recent than that.
I feel like I know it's been a while, but
happy birthday, Gordon Soley.
Yeah.
And then really quick, tomorrow we have Sheamus, 1978, and Shark Boy at 1975. Happy birthday, one and all.
Shark.
I had to put that one in there.
Shark, yeah.
Love it. Primo, what's going on in the headlines, man? We're heading to Royal Rumble.
What is going on in the headlines, you know?
Nothing like a good news giggle.
Well,
Yes.
let's get to that news giggle. On Monday, Fightful Select tweeted out that WWE is pushing for a Ronda Rousey return.
Mm-hmm.
Who already called that a while back?
Yeah, you did, like 2 months ago.
Told you it's about Ronda time. They need the ratings.
Okay.
Love
Yeah,
it.
like I said, you know, I told you guys my thoughts on Ronda Rousey off.
It's valid.
camera.
It's very valid.
Yeah.
But as far as her initial WWE run, it was so I'm not a fan, especially her not being here since WrestleMania 2019. And then if she would just suddenly come in and then be right in the limelight, you know, that's annoying.
That's going to happen.
You know.
It could.
So, but speaking of movements, the latest movement to sweep social media is the hashtag Free Ali movement in reference to WWE refusing to grant Mustafa Ali his release after he had requested it. Many various superstars have tweeted out Free Ali, and it just seems to be sweeping the wrestle Twitter.
Seriously, let him go. Like, just let him go. Be happy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So New Japan Pro Wrestling has canceled now. As of today is January 26, 2022. But there were events going on throughout the rest of the weekend to the end of the month. They have canceled the remaining live events in January due to COVID protocols.
In the United States?
No, here at all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's New Japan.
Gotcha.
This one's for you. I put this specifically in here for you, AJ.
Hmm?
Via Deadline.com. WWE superstar. First of all, they put WWE star. She is no longer with the company. But WWE star Natalie Eva Marie is set to star alongside Randy Couture, Neil McDonough, former WWE Tag Champion Oleg Prudius, which is Vladimir Kozlov.
Oh, yeah.
And violin and former UFC lightweight champion Rashad Evans, in upcoming film Phoenix.
Shit. I'm going to have to watch that garbage.
Yep, you're the movie of the week, so
no! It needs to get canceled. I don't want to watch Eva Marie in fucking anything. Ugh.
Speaking of things that WWE messed up, they unveiled their logo for the 2022 Elimination Chamber in Jeddah. And in my opinion, it's absolutely hideous.
I haven't seen it yet. I have to look at it.
Oh, you should look it up right now. It's so dumb.
It's pretty ugly.
Huh.
Speaking of ugly, just in time for the coldest part of winter, WWE has released Brock Lesnar flannel shirts.
That is so awesome. I want one. Brock Lesnar flannels.
Yeah.
Great.
According to Fightful Select, Keith Lee has filed for 2 new trademarks. On January 20th, Lee filed to trademark Limitless for entertainment purposes and a stylized L logo with an infinity symbol overlaying the same for entertainment services and merchandising purposes.
So no Bearcat application?
I think him and Mia Yim just got married, or about to get married.
You and him, or him and Mia Yim?
I know that
you heard me right. I Mia. I got caught up in the Mia.
Him and Mia, him.
I thought of Mia.
Oh,
What? That's how Steve Gorlami talks, old stink bug.
yeah. So he's trademarking some of his Limitless and stuff like that, so that way he can be untouchable there on the Indies.
Good. I can't wait to see him again. He's so good.
Speaking of somebody we'll see again, according also to Fightful, Frankie Kazarian has re-signed with AEW, so that will keep him there for the foreseeable future.
Yay!
Nice. He just wrestled too this past week.
Yes, he did.
He put somebody over, I think.
And some
Sir Murderhawk.
interesting news here. I thought this was kind of interesting. I put this in here. Captain Jack Claffey, formerly known as Gentleman Jack Gallagher, has signed with the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and will debut mid-2022.
Wow.
Now, if you remember, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, he got sent home. He was fired because he got hashtag canceled.
Yes, he did.
And so we'll get to see somebody who, did those wrong deeds get their face bashed in with bare knuckles.
Which is going to be fun. And he will get slaughtered in that particular
Now,
promotion.
apparently he had a pro record already of 2-0 before he even wrestled.
But is it like a pro record like Jake Paul has a pro
No, it's
record?
a pro MMA. It's a pro MMA record, and he's joining a bare knuckle. Well, it's bare knuckle fighting, so maybe they'll still. I've never watched it. That sounds super. I didn't even know this existed until today. That sounds super interesting to me. I kind of want to watch it.
I know, I did too. Just watch people pummel each other.
It sounds like a train wreck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, lastly, here's my last headline of the day. I actually saw it right before we started the show. Via Ring of Honor's website, they have officially established the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. The first inductee into the inaugural Ring of Honor Hall of Fame class will be revealed this upcoming Monday. Subsequent inductees will be announced on February 7th, 14th, and 21st.
CM Punk, first.
Cool.
First inductee.
No. Somebody like Nigel McGuinness would go in for him,
yeah.
or maybe Samoa Joe,
Austin Aries,
Tyler Black.
Yeah.
So that's this day in wrestling headlines.
All right, AJ, what terrible movie did you watch this week, my brother?
AJ's Movie of the Week.
Well, guys, do you know why I'm here? No? I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm almost out of bubblegum.
Nice.
So.
Oh, I just talked about it.
I'm proud of you now.
So,
a good movie.
I tried to watch Roddy Piper starring in Portal to Hell, in which he stars as a hard-nosed janitor, but couldn't find that movie anywhere.
He's Willie from The Simpsons?
I'll turn your grunt to pudding! So instead, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. It's not on Tubi or anywhere. So I went back to They Live. This movie I loved as a kid. Loved it when I rewatched it when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it when I rewatched it when I was in my 30s. And I fucking love it just as much today. So anyone who hasn't seen They Live, the whole premise is basically Roddy Piper, who doesn't have a name in the movie, finds these sunglasses that basically show the world how it actually is. There's aliens. And when he puts them on, he can see their skull faces and all these subliminal messages. And it's fantastic. It's one of the best movies ever. Roddy Piper is amazing. That chew bubblegum line was actually put in there by him. It's one of the most iconic wrestling lines ever now. He actually put that in there. And it has one of the greatest fight scenes still to this day in any movie. It's a 5-minute long fight scene with Keith David. Wait, isn't he the singer? What's his name? David Keith? One of those things.
Keith. Keith
Frank in the
Richards
movie
is the singer.
Keith Sweat.
Keith. Oh, yes. Nobody but me. Nobody.
Keith Lee.
And the band keeps playing on.
AJ's gonna have me calling on my ex-girlfriend singing Keith Sweat. Go back to the 90s here, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Is this a Keith Sweat podcast?
That's the only song I know by Keith. Is it Keith Sweat or Keith Sweet? I always said Keith Sweat.
Sweat.
I always said Sweat too.
Sweat.
Keith, can't be Keith Sweat. Who
He's
would
so
name this? What's your singer name? Keith Sweat. Oh, so you're a musty, sticky douche.
They're like,
Okay.
oh, gross.
Nobody. Go watch They Live. It's the moral of the story.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm the Dirty Bird, of course. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. You know, it's a big pod, man. We're going to review the 2010 Rumble in our very last review of a Rumble match of the month. We're moving to Sunday Night Heat come February. But today we're going to be talking all the latest wrestling. Lots of Rumble talk, of course, to get you ready for the big premium event. Now is what they call it instead of pay-per-view, right? Saturday night. Isn't that what they call it?
Premium
premium live event.
Yeah.
Premium live event. There you go. We're going to be attending in person.
I was going to say, it should be a luxury event because we're there.
Live
exactly.
event Saturday night. And also want to drop some news here for you real quick. Next week, on the podcast here, we're dropping an interview with one of the most popular, very, very busy Midwest referees. We had a nice little interview with Dan Perch, who is a big referee all over the Midwest. We had some audio issues, but Primo was able to bring it to you here. So we're going to have him on later on, but we're going to bring that to you next week. So, all right, let's get this thing rolling. But AJ, first, man, we talked about it earlier. We got merch. We got to tell the people where to get the merch at, man. Tell them.
Well, we have merch, just like our boss said there. You can get said merch, including T-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, baby clothes, notebooks, flags, so on and so forth, stickers, magnets, blah, 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 all the stuff.
Because I am the second most recognizable athlete in all of the world.
That was
kind of an Ali Dusty.
I know.
I don't know. It's because I ain't did a Dusty impression in a while, man. I'm rusty. Anyway.
Throw some Ali in there.
There we go.
tpublic.com/stores/ excuse me.
That's not it.
Sit
My
down.
goodness.
That website is tpublic.com/stores/SITDOWNMARKS. Go buy our things, you lovely bastards.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening
to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, let's get to the weekly recap. Let me run over here real quick. We got, there was a ton of shows last week. Nobody's really running this week on the independent scene. I guess nobody wants to run up against a Royal Rumble, I guess. I don't know. But not a whole lot going on. But there is one show that I did see. It's going to be on IWTV Friday night from H2O Wrestling. It's called Hustle and Gold out in Williamstown, New Jersey. And there's a few other shows sprinkled around, but mostly for the weekend, everybody's kind of laying low here as most of the January shows have already happened, and everybody's looking forward to February and March. So looking forward to the independent scene kicking up here soon. We have tickets for March the 4th, St. Louis Anarchy. We're going to be there front row back at the Spalding Hall. That's going to be a big show. Actually, St. Louis Anarchy just released on their YouTube page the Gateway to Anarchy. So go check that out, the card that they just had. So, all right, let me go ahead and jump into Impact here real quick, and we'll come back to AEW and then Primo will bring us through with WWE, and we'll talk about the Royal Rumble card. So, all right, so Impact Wrestling, not a whole lot going on right now. They're just kind of moving through storylines at the moment. A few things that did happen this past Thursday was Tasha Steelz, who won the Knockouts Ultimate X match. She kind of started her rivalry with Mickie James.
Hardcore country. Because
she is next in line. So next up, Morrissey is on the loose looking for Moose. I didn't even mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Morrissey on the loose looking for Moose all over the arena. So you see him looking for everybody. But for me, pretty cool, guys. Match of the night. Jonathan Gresham beat Macklin to retain the ROH title with the ROH Invasion people, I guess.
They called No More Honor?
Well, I was about to.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. They're called Honor No More. Honor No More. So then, at which they had at that point in the show, they hadn't revealed themselves as to their name, but later on in the show, they announced that the next actual pay-per-view will be April 23rd. It's going to be called Rebellion. Now they got a couple little small pay-per-views for Impact Plus, that little side streaming service that they have, but they're already really advertising Rebellion. So we'll see what happens there. If you guys remember last year at Rebellion, I believe that's when Moose wrestled Omega.
Yes, it was.
So that should be pretty good. So, all right. So we get to the main event. Charlie Haas is making his return. He's wrestling Josh Alexander. This match was very technical as expected. Haas looked pretty good, a little rusty, but it was just, his speed was just a little off, but Josh did a good job at kind of, picking him up. But I thought he looked great otherwise. But Charlie Haas ends up tapping to an ankle lock, and then the ROH Invasion happens again. They beat up Haas. Alexander, Saban comes out. And then, Willie Mack, Swan, all these same guys that have kind of been coming out to help. This time, Heath and Rhino show up, Eddie Edwards as well. And so finally, the kind of Impact locker room shows up to run ROH off. So they run off. The Impact wrestlers run the ROH guys off. And then the crowd's kind of chanting Impact Wrestling as they head back up to kind of like this stoop, or kind of like where they're kind of looking over the top of the ring. Maria Kanellis grabs the microphone and she says, "You can now call us Honor No More." So
Honor No More.
Their faction officially has a name now, and
like the rock band Faith No More.
What's that?
Reminds
you of Faith No More?
You can
flopping fish
have it.
Do you guys remember videos? Or are you guys
music videos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Videos. I mean, do you guys know what MTV
back in your
is?
day, they were called.
You guys know what
shows.
MTV is?
The Moving Picture Show.
I mean, they call them cinematic marks, right?
They call them the talking
cinematic marks.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how Impact Wrestling went off. Not a whole lot happened, but let's move on to AEW. AJ, we had Dynamite and Rampage. Man, some decent stuff happened here, man. Tell us about it.
So this was the week of John Moxley, we'll say. I'm just going to throw that out there. He made his return. He looks, 15 years younger?
Fantastic.
In outstanding health.
He does.
The promo that he cut was, it's up there with my favorite promos of the year.
He looked great, man.
He
He's
did.
in great shape.
I loved the crowd during his promo too, because they were like obviously when he came out, it was an uproar. Like it was amazing, and then they went silent as he was speaking.
They were like holding on to his every word.
Yes,
yeah,
they were.
I loved his line when he said, "They are the scars that make us." I was like, that's clearly not written by a wrestling writer. You can tell that was him. Like he came up with all this. If you doubt that, go read his book. He's a really good writer.
Yeah.
So he cuts a promo about him, how he's back, and he's happy, healthy. The only thing he drinks now is blood. I like that line too.
I've seen him say a prayer before. That was first. You guys see that? He took a knee, said a little something.
He kind of gets into that a little bit in his book, which just a little bit. But if they had any plans on turning him heel before he left, it can't happen. It's like he's the returning hero right now.
It'd be a dirty angle, wouldn't it?
At least 9 times soon, you know?
That's true. Dirty angle.
It's a completely different situation, and I'm not comparing the two in the slightest, but we thought when Roman came back from leukemia that he would never be a heel.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
God mode.
Yes. Roman. So up next we had, which normally I wouldn't even list a match like this, but it was a really good match. It was Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in a mixed tag match.
DMD, baby.
I love this
name
match.
of their tag. Did you see that?
Oh,
was
the
name of their tag team? Yeah.
That's
DMD,
fantastic.
baby. Yeah, I mean, it only took a week for them to pair them up. They kissed the week before. Okay, here, mixed tag right off the bat. And
here we go.
And they were kind of doing WWE mixed tag rules.
But it was so much better than anything that WWE had put on during their mixed tag
they blurred
matches.
They blurred the lines.
They did. And Statlander and Baker are just rock stars in the company. Everyone looked amazing. Cole and Baker got the win.
Chris.
It was a fantastic match. I loved it so much. Up next, worth noting, is in the ongoing saga between CM Punk and MJF. CM Punk fought Sean Spears and squashed the fuck out of him.
I was about to say, fought is an overstatement.
Yeah.
I wasn't too happy about this because I'm a Sean Spears kind of guy, man. Like, I don't know. I kind of want him to morph his character, be a little more important. You know what I mean? But this worked. This worked, though. You know what I mean? It worked. It was great.
It did.
It was great.
Plus, I love how MJF called him his accountability buddy. Like, is that a military term? I've heard my brother say that as well.
I mean, I've heard it. Yeah, it's like I mean, like
buddy keeps you accountable.
Yeah. Accountability buddy. I thought that was funny. But it lengthened the feud. Obviously, they're going to hold off on the MJF CM Punk match until they're in Chicago. Is what I've read so far.
Wintrust Arena.
Yeah. So it was fine. I also like Sean Spears. But yeah, squash.
Chairman cometh.
Let's see. I still hate that line. And then I also want to talk about the
chairman cometh.
The Cody Rhodes pipe bomb.
Yes.
Those of you not watching, I'm doing air quotes around pipe bomb.
This is great. He said, they told me to hold this promo, but I'm letting it out tonight.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, I feel like he was pissed. He made some points that make you go. The biggest point he made to me was him saying, "Why would you let anybody else be named Brody in this company?" When
he
was gone. Brody King made his debut.
Yeah, that was a pretty good point.
He didn't like that. It seemed like he was pissed about that. And he was talking about things that happened while he was gone. Yeah, it seemed, and then he was like, "I'm not turning heel because."
See, that's what I didn't like. Like, I love like shoot promos like this. I think they're fantastic and fun. But I think when you talk about being face or heel within the company, I think it doesn't ruin it, but I don't know. I don't like it when they take it to that extent. It's like, you leave us wrestling nerds something.
Sure, right, yeah. Like, if you expect us to suspend our suspend our disbelief, then you should too, kind of.
Like, don't talk about turning face or turning heel.
Right?
Don't talk about turns.
Yeah, like it's it's faux pas.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
Kayfabe, a made-up word according to Trevor
you
Outlaw.
Literally just said the two words.
Yeah.
that Trevor Outlaw does not like.
Yep. And then I would quickly like everyone and kayfabe to board the griff wagon with me as we drive it straight off a cliff.
All aboard!
No, I was gonna say I'm not jumping on that thing because
Hop on,
AJ's
Primo.
taking it.
Varsity Blondes.
We're
baby,
taking
let's
it fucking to the bottom of the ocean. So
Let's sink this motherfucker.
Varsity Blondes fought House of Black and just got annihilated. But it was the best kind of annihilation because Varsity Blondes have some clout and House of Black just destroyed them. Cool.
They're picking up steam. You know what? I was thinking this the other day. The Varsity Blondes need like a killer match with like the Lucha Brothers, and they're made.
Well, they
you know
need,
what I mean? Like,
well, they need to fire Griff Grifferson and throw him off the bus and get another blonde from Hollywood in there. I hear Dolph Ziggler's not doing
they're
much.
Varsity Blondes, not Hollywoods. That was Stone Cold and Pillman.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, well then
You're
someone
close.
else. Get someone else who's in high school. Throw him in there. I don't care. Fuck you, Griff Grifferson.
You're blonde. Let's go.
Shut up. The last thing I want to talk about is our girl Sky Blue. I love Sky Blue so much. She got fucking whooped by Serena Deeb.
She did, didn't she?
She did. But Serena Deeb's awesome. Her heel turn is fantastic.
Right. We're going to talk about Serena Deeb later, too.
Hell yeah. Last thing I want to mention is Sting and Darby Allin versus the Acclaimed because I hate Max Caster. Sting and Darby Allin handed the Acclaimed their first loss, I think, in ever. So that was Dynamite. And then really quickly in Rampage, we had Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page, which I'm glad they put Ethan Page against Jon Moxley for his return match, as opposed to like some doofy jobber, because I like Ethan Page as well.
Yep.
Moxley got the win, which as he should. But then afterwards,
here we go.
Bryan Danielson showed up and had a moment with Moxley. And I was
like,
give me this match. Give me these two in their current iteration. Hey, give me a series of these. Do it best of 7. Pull a Sheamus into Cesaro. I don't give a fuck. I just want to watch them over and over again. So I'm super excited going forward for that.
Right.
What else happened? Oh, Trent Beretta looked great in his match with Nick Jackson. However, wasn't anything exciting. Trent got the win. Hook again against Jobber and
yes, sir. Send Hook.
What was the
Send Hook?
There it is. I don't even remember the Jobber's name. Shit.
Send Hook.
Accountability.
Can we get that one more
Jackson.
time?
Send Hook.
Thank you. And then the last thing I will talk about for AEW is Chade Gargill. Chade Gargill? Chade Gargill.
Oh, no.
Jade Gargill.
Send Hook.
Well, Jade sounds like your grandma.
I'm Jade Gargill.
I mean, Jade's looking more confident for sure.
Oh,
she's getting better. You know,
She
that
is.
bitch show she's trying to get over. I don't know if that's getting over.
I don't think it will.
You know, to go with the TBS, I get it. But
I'm getting just China vibes off of her. Like she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I just don't think she's ever gonna be talented. Like, not talented, but
okay.
You know,
yeah.
So that's what I got. It was the week of Moxley. He was the main event for every iteration or every single segment. You just wanted to see Moxley more this week. So that is AEW.
All right. Primo, let's tell you what, man. We got Go Home Raw, Go Home SmackDown. And then we're going to run over this Royal Rumble card, man. Let's get it.
All right. We have Smackity Down.
Whose game is it? AJ's game, baby. Champion at sit down marks for another 4 days. Carry on.
As you were. He just buzzed you out.
The Go Home SmackDown is this coming Friday.
Yes, it is. You're right.
So this was last week's Smackity Down. The Smackity Down, we had the Usos starting off the show, as I mentioned last week on episode 47, the Sit Down Marks. They start off the show to celebrate the Tribal Chiefs' legendary Universal Championship reign. Because why? because we the
ones.
That's right. Then they play a really cool video package of his reign.
I don't like how they pluralize ones. That's all I got. Continue. Because one is one. I'm done. Carry on.
Let me explain to you, or you want to keep going? I explain it to you.
Nah, I don't want to explain.
They're all one, and there's 3 of them.
So there were the 3.
Yeah, here's another explanation. Here's another way too. My iteration of thinking that too. Okay, so when you're talking about sports, right? Like the starters are the ones. The second team are the 2s. So they're saying they're the starters. They're the superstars.
It's just the first half of a sentence. We are the ones.
What is this sports of which you speak?
I don't know. Your Bills lost. So
I don't want to talk about it. How dare you?
All right, back to SmackDown.
Ring it in.
So they, yeah, exactly. Let me throw it in there. So they play a really cool video package of Roman Reigns' reign up to this point, which is like basically everybody that he's destroyed.
Yeah, cool.
And it was pretty cool because then you're like, wow, that was a long time ago.
Over 500 days.
Yeah. So then they end up getting interrupted by Seth freaking Rollins, who proposes that he and his tag partner take on the Usos so that they can be banned from ringside at the Rumble. Roman says if Seth loses, though, he has to put something up for stake, too. So if Seth loses, he loses the Rumble match. In the main event, Seth freaking Rollins and Kevin Owens, my older brother, defeated the Usos.
The Usos?
Due to the interference by Roman Reigns. When it started to look dire for the Usos, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, stepped in, Superman punch, and Seth Rollins wins. Therefore, the Usos will not be allowed at ringside during the Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble,
of which we will be attending. I don't know if we mentioned that.
I'm so excited.
I don't know if we said it.
So,
go ahead.
I have a bold prediction coming up. We'll get into that when we go over the Rumble card. But
okay, I want to say the most important thing. Well, I had 2 things I wrote down about SmackDown. This one thing was I love Sami Zayn's dancing. It just cracks me up, man.
I also
so funny.
It.
I'll roll rewind it if it's a good one. Like if he's really getting into it, I'll DVR rewind it and watch it again. It's that funny. But the most important thing, boys, it's been a long time. The days have been counting, but we're back to 0 because Tracksuit Roman has returned.
Yeah, made his
triumphant so long return. I forgot to even take account for it.
I noticed that immediately.
He's back in the tracksuit, man. I was so pumped.
He means business.
Hell yeah.
He does. That means it's go time.
Yeah, that means it's go time. It must be it's like Royal Rumble week, like I'm getting ready, man. I got the tracksuit back on.
Show.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Love it.
All right, that was smacking it down. On to Monday Night Raw.
Oof.
So, the show kicks off with a weigh-in for the WWE Championship match at Royal Rumble. The almighty Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I've been waiting to talk about this.
He comes out ready to weigh in. He was a competitor. He comes out ready to participate. While Brock comes out in cowboy shit and makes a mockery of the whole ordeal. Leaving Lashley angry as they head towards their matchup this weekend. All right, what do you got on that?
So this is the only thing I really enjoyed about WWE this week.
That's almost all I wrote down.
I love this might be my favorite Brock Lesnar moment ever when he steps on the scale. He takes his hat off.
He said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He takes the hat off and hits it ball.
He said, "You want me?" He said, "You want me to get naked?"
I love that so much.
Yeah, he said, "What, Corey? You want me to get naked?"
He was just taking the piss out of the entire segment. I loved it. Brock Lesnar, you fucking gem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was is hilarious. The whole thing.
Yes. Took his hat off.
Yeah. For those who didn't see it, Brock came out in a cowboy hat and did a flannel sweater thing.
It was like a leather cowboy hat, too.
Yeah.
He wasn't fucking around.
Interesting. Yeah. somebody said I don't remember who on the commentating team, but they were like, I think it was Byron was commenting like, "How are you going to step on the scale when you have that belt buckle?"
That thing's 30 pounds by itself.
So, what you got, Dirty?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was just my synopsis of Raw.
Oh, I got a little more here.
Yeah,
that was my synopsis.
Go ahead.
So, the other thing that I literally laughed out loud at this segment, and that was the Alpha Academy and Arcade Bros spelling bee. Chad Gable. First of all, Chad Gable he's cutting a promo on Ohio. He said, "Ohio, don't boo education. If anyone needs it, it's you."
I like what he says. Don't do education. It's gross.
Don't do education.
Thank you.
The whole spelling. Yeah, he said thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And they like I've already liked Chad Gable before, but
me too.
I'm glad they're letting him do his thing.
I didn't know he could be that funny.
Right.
Like
I did not like
really
the
funny.
Shorty G stuff.
No, I hated that. It made me sad for Chad Gable because I really like Chad Gable.
I remember him in NXT, whenever, Reddy, Willie, and Gable, all that stuff. All that was good. So I'm pretty happy to see him back doing what he enjoys. So the spelling bee was hilarious. Also, I don't know if you guys actually watched this part, but Randy Orton, he's been on like a cleanse or something. Like he is lean the hell out. He's shredded right now.
Yeah, he looks like he desperately needs to drink. Water.
You could see it looked like he was on the Edge diet because Edge is shredded.
Yeah, I read something a while back. I don't know if it's still true, but he said that he hasn't picked up a weight in over close to 10 years.
Who, Randy Orton?
Something like that. Yeah, he just does cardio, conditioning.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. He just. I noticed that too. He's leaning out.
And then at the end of this spelling bee, I put chat because they end up having a one-on-one match between. Oh, by the way, Arcade Bro wins the spelling bee.
They do.
And then with their words were calibration and dumbbell.
And dumbbell.
And he says, and Riddle goes because Otis and Randy had both been able to ask to put it in a sentence. And when they give him calibration, he's like, "Hey, bro, can you put that into letters for me?"
Put that in the letters.
Oh man!
Like when I'm calibrating my scale when I'm weighing things.
Scale.
Okay.
Randy was dying too when he was talking about that. I think Randy's having the best time ever working with.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's coming to an end.
Chad Gable, they have a match, him and Randy Orton, and Chad does one of the best sell jobs of an RKO that I've ever seen.
Agreed.
I've never seen somebody flip over like that.
Yeah.
He got spiked on his head. Like, how RVD would spike on his head?
Yeah, and then go straight up and then blip.
To close the show, we had Edge and Beth Phoenix. They crashed Maurice's birthday celebration. And all I got for that is they really are a power couple. Like, legit. They're calling themselves the freaking Miz and Maurice are the it couple. Yeah. Beth and Edge are calling themselves the grit couple. So, one last thing. After Raw, the Dirty Dogs are giving a backstage interview when they spot. This was on a WWE exclusive on social medias and such. They're giving a backstage interview when they spot Roderick Strong walking by. And also have a confrontation with none other than LA Knight. Possible Rumble entrance.
That would be awesome if LA Knight was in the Rumble.
So that's all I got on Raw.
Or they're going to do some kind of little thing like they just did with AJ where he wrestles on Raw, and then Dolph comes down to NXT.
He said, "You know where I'm at."
Yeah.
You know where I stay.
Yeah. Well,
you know where I stay.
My thoughts on Raw this, man. I'm just going to be honest. I could not care less about the Miz, Maurice, Edge, Beth thing. I will probably watch the entrances, and then I'll probably go get a hot dog and piss. I'm just going to be honest.
That's your best break match?
I'm just not it just doesn't interest me.
Right. Mine is Becky and Doudrop.
So for me,
that will also be mine.
For me, I don't know, and maybe I'm a little more ticked off because we are going to the Rumble, and this is a really cool go home Raw for us. You know what I mean? And it just pissed me off because They need to get rid of all these talking segments, celebrations, birthday bashes, talk shows. It just sucks. It just sucks so bad, man. It just sucks the life out of everything. And there was just so much talking. Like, I was pumped up. Like, I wanted to see 8,000 people in the ring trying to throw each other out.
Yeah, there's really only one segment like that.
Yeah,
it was
like
a small segment.
It was tiny.
Yeah, and
it was like 3 minutes long.
And for me, it just said a lot to me, like where WWE is right now. So, it's a go home Raw, right? To possibly one of the most watched pay-per-views of the year. So even if you got casual fans, they're probably tuning in to this Raw to see what's going to happen, what they're going to be watching, if they're going to be watching the Rumble, And the last segment we see before we go home for this big, huge Royal Rumble that some people think is bigger and better than the Mania sometimes, we're watching a fucking Maurice birthday celebration. You know what I mean?
Yeah, off.
It just sucked the life out of me. Like, that went off, and I'm like, man, SmackDown better be good, because
I certainly didn't think they were going to end it with that. End the show with that. Like, I was surprised they ended the show with that. Yeah. You're right, though. It was a go home, and it didn't deliver. It definitely did not feel like a go home show for any pay per view.
It made me actually dislike The Miz, like because Miz in real life, I'm not the biggest fan of The Miz, but I don't hate his guts. It's making me. I want to be like, Miz, go away. I'm so sick of your talk show. I'm so sick of your fucking bullshit that you do. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. Fuck off.
I mean, it's just like, plenty of storylines in the Rumble match, for God's sake. And you guys are putting steam on a mixed tag match and a birthday celebration. Nothing against mixed tag matches, but this is just what we're going home on. This is what we're seeing here. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just like, I watch this. I'm like, this says everything to me what WWE
They'll probably
is
do
right
the
now.
big scramble on SmackDown, I'd assume.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. Anyway,
and maybe more so with the ladies, since more of them are announced.
Yeah. Let's get on NXT here.
Let's get on NXT here.
Get on it.
Let's get on NXT.
We're gonna get on NXT. We're gonna do that.
Get on NXT.
Get on yeah.
We're gonna get on NXT. So NXT, we started open with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic continuation of the first round. We had the boys MSK versus Jacket Time. Of course, MSK wins and moves on to the semifinals. Also, the grizzled young veterans,
soon to be recognized as the NXT Dusty Cup champions.
I think they're the winners too. Versus the Creed brothers. And so I'm sorry. Versus Andre Chase and Brody Hayward. The semifinal matchups coming up will be GYV versus Creed brothers and MSK versus Malik Blade and Edris Enofe. They're calling them the Bracket Busters because they had the upset.
I don't know how they get away with that name.
Me
neither. It's an old term from DB's time.
Oh, okay. The Emperor of Lucha, Santos Escobar and Braun Breaker have a war of words. At one time, Braun says, "Cállate." Santos Escobar. I was like, what? And basically tells him, grow a pair and issue the challenge already so he can accept it. And Santos says he operates on his time, and when he's ready, Braun will know. And at the end of the show, you see Braun leaving the building, and they pull up like the Dudleys in '96 or whatever it was, and it's Legado del Fantasma pull up. They get out. They look like they're about to jump him. He's like, "I got my answer now!" Basically, as he's about to jump Braun, but up walks right beside him, Tommaso Ciampa.
I think you mean Tommaso Luigi pizza guy.
One less championship on his arm because it's on the other guy's arm. So he dabs up right after they give the stare down.
Yeah.
So that's how NXT goes off the air. But two things of note also. Von Wagner returned and has joined the Robert Stone brand. Why does Robbie E not wrestle anymore? Was injuries or?
Yeah,
I honestly have no idea.
I actually enjoyed him as a wrestler. So
I did too.
Because I feel like him and DJ Z could do something, you know?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But that's just my TNA nostalgia. Exactly. Bring in Jesse Goddard.
I love Jesse. God,
So then, and lastly, Walter is officially Gunther now, and they're sticking with it.
Yep.
Woof.
They did like a video package to explain.
Yeah, they did.
You
Basically
see that?
explaining how they are superior as a team.
Right,
It's just wrong.
Gunther, he's saying like Gunther was his name. His mom named him Walter. Like,
yeah, he said his born name is Walter. He's reborn into Gunther.
This crowd was pretty lively. Probably the liveliest crowd they've had in a long time. They were into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially since the stupid whatever it's called.
Crack me up. Yeah, I don't know. Crack me up with Breaker. He made a math joke too. He was like 3-on-2. Ha! I like those odds. Or 3-on-2. Like he did like a math. I'm like, I'll get the fuck out.
Santos Escobar said, "Everybody goes for the low hanging fruit. Everybody talks about your family and your terrible math skills."
Right? Yeah. Oh, that was great.
I do love like Braun Breaker's growing on me. He really is. Like,
oh, he's great, but I just think, it's still too early, but he's great altogether.
But yeah, it's yeah.
They really put the rocket up his butt, for
did.
sure.
He did.
He's earning it in my opinion though. Like
He's carrying it.
Yeah.
So that was NXT. You want me to read the card? The Rumble card?
Let's go over the Rumble card, and let's and then at the end we'll remind everybody what our picks were for the Rumble. But yeah, let's go over the regular matches throughout here, and we'll make some picks.
All right. So we have the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, the champion, defending against Doudrop.
I don't know what my pick is for this match because I'm going to be peeing when this.
That's when we're going to hold hands to the bathroom.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to watch this one unless I have to pee too.
I will definitely watch the entrance because I'm a Becky Lynch fan.
Yeah,
me too.
for sure.
I love Becky.
Yeah. But
I don't care about this match though.
No. Becky's retaining, but they're probably going to make Doudrop look better here. I think.
I kind of hope not. Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Here's
of Doudrop.
DB's intermission. We have the Hall of Fame duo of Edge and the Glamazon versus Miz and Maurice. It versus Grit couple.
I'm going to go with the Grit couple.
The correct answer is who gives a fuck?
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited to see them.
Yes,
you're not excited about this match?
No. We'll get to that. I'm going to talk about that later, but I am excited, especially that I get to see Edge.
Yes,
Edge's
I'm also
entrance live is the bomb.
Yes,
I'm
also. I didn't get to see him earlier in my life.
Me neither.
Yeah. I hope he's in the Rumble too.
Women's. So then we have the. We'll get to the two Rumble matches at the end here. Universal Championship: Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins.
I am going to actually pick Seth Rollins for this match. I'm gonna pull
just to win the match, not to take the title.
No, I think I'm picking him to take the title.
See, I'm the opposite.
Really?
I'm taking Lashley over Lesnar.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I thought that.
And Lesnar jumping into the Rumble.
See, I'm taking Seth over Roman because then I think Roman's going to take the WWE title off of Lesnar at.
It's be more legit.
Yeah, just because I think they want him on there. Plus, he has their longest reign now record. Now I think they're just going to try and start getting him more title reigns to kind of get him up there with John Cena
on the Raw show, the Raw brand.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna stick with what I said. They both retain. Randy Orton wins the Rumble, makes it a triple threat at Mania.
Oh yeah. So So yeah, like I said,
For
I
all
think
Marks.
Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship. I'm actually calling for Lashley to go over.
Yeah, I think Lesnar's retaining against Lashley.
And also, my men's Rumble match, as it has been my pick since like October, is still AJ Styles.
It's a good pick.
I'm picking Randy. Who'd you pick, AJ?
Who did I pick?
You picked like Damian Priest or something.
You shut your mouth. Did I pick Kevin Owens?
I don't know. It's your pick. Who'd you pick?
I know. I can't. Well, I initially picked Finn Balor because
check the tape.
Yep, he was on the tape. Yeah, I don't remember who I picked because I honestly have no idea. So
I think you might have picked Kevin Owens.
I think I might have too. But in any case, my official pick right now is Kevin Owens.
Women's pick, AJ.
Asuka. Still, because I did say Asuka last time.
Are you ready for Asuka?
Are you ready for Asuka?
You said Asuka too, Primo?
No. I said Bailey.
You said Bailey, yeah. And I went with Naomi.
I think Asuka is going to be the first women's 2-time winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that all the matches other than the card? No tag matches, tag titles? They can still set those up. They still got a little time.
The Raw tag title is building still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the Rumble card there?
That is the Rumble card there.
All right. Good.
You know, just based on the women's match, the men's match, and the Universal title, I'm super excited for this card.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of forget, but the Rumbles will each be an hour. So,
yeah.
So all right. So that is the weekly recap. We got AEW Impact Primo brings WWE each and every week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Now it's time to head to the Dropkick Discussion of the week.
I'm Dakota, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
All right, boys. Kind of sad, but it is the final pod of January, so it must be the final Royal Rumble review we're doing here. This one today is 2010. All right, so the 2010 Royal Rumble, as we've watched here. So this one was held January the 31st, 2010. We were back in Atlanta, Georgia. Ironically, I didn't do that on purpose.
I know, that was kind of cool.
Kind of more about who won, which we'll talk about it later. It was at the Phillips Arena, named then State Farm Center now. 17,000 people were there. They had about 500,000 pay-per-view buys, and the tagline was, "I am the one." One of the cooler Royal Rumble posters, out there. Actually, this year's, I think, is pretty cool. I got that one up on the screen. And the one from 2010 that we're looking at kind of had everybody standing in line with John Cena at the point, Taker, and Triple H there. So that was a really awesome one. So just to fill out, guys, where we were in wrestling at this moment, the previous pay-per-view right before the Royal Rumble, held in December of the 2009, was TLC. Now, this one was in San Antonio, and let me tell you what happened at this one real quick. DX, which was compromised of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, beat Jericho for the unified tag team titles. Undertaker was the world heavyweight champion. Sheamus had beat Cena to become the WWE champion. You guys, your boy Drew McIntyre won the Intercontinental belt from Johnny.
One.
Yeah,
we'll
Johnny
get to him. Nitro, Morrison, Impact, whichever one you want to go for.
Johnny Mundo.
Michelle McCool was the women's champ. Christian was the ECW champion.
Mm-hmm.
Mike the Miz was the United States champion. So we had all these brands going on, right, at the time: Raw, SmackDown, ECW. So that's kind of where we were, at this moment.
Still in 2010, huh?
Still in 2010.
On Sci-Fi.
Yeah. So we get started here. Michael Cole, Lawler, Matt Stryker are your teacher, by the way. He is one of your this are your panel to call the match. I wanted to bring to you two guys a little thing too. Michelle McCool at this time was in the middle of the whole Mickey James
hardcore country.
Piggy James storyline that they had going on.
Oh, that was so rude.
Yeah,
yes,
it was bad.
it was very rude.
And I always thought, I was like, man, there's nothing wrong with Mickey James. She looks good.
Yeah.
Michelle would end up losing the belt to Mickey, but yeah, they were right in the middle of this Piggy James storyline where Lay Cool was her and
Lay Cool with her, and they shared the title.
They were making fun of Mickey's weight stuff.
Remember they had the Broken Divas Championship?
That's right. Yeah. All right, so great intro package here before we get started. You know, this intro alone got me pumped to go to this year's, because when the lights go off and the Rumble starts and they hit the intro package on the screen, that's when the goosebumps start to roll in, man. So this one kind of got me ready for in St. Louis this weekend. So what did you guys see up until we get to number one here?
So, well, Primo, go ahead, since I have the first 10. I'll get to my shtick when I get to my shtick.
So like I said, in every single one here, the intro package, as you mentioned, got me hyped. Like the one like at the start of the show was super cool. And then I also, something I like that they did in this one, I don't know when they started doing it, because they've done it every year since. But I like when they started to do the statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but also, if you heard at the top of the show, our intro was, I remember all this clearly. That, Shawn Michaels was obsessed with getting his match with Undertaker again at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And obviously, as you heard in that intro that I had played, every man for himself. Triple H said if he has to step on Shawn's dream, then so be it. And that's where we're at. So this whole timeline of events, like I just remembered everything like going on at this time.
Right. Yeah. A lot of cool storylines. Well, I don't want to spoil it for, anybody that might be listening that's never seen it, but yeah, a big return, and this was
12 years late.
Pretty well. Yeah. For all of those with been a fan of flash photography. All right, AJ, get us rolling here, man. What you thought, and then let's roll here with number one. But what'd you see up until this point?
So I liked the promo that Kane cut with Shawn Michaels, because he clearly was not looking at Shawn Michaels. He was looking past Shawn Michaels to read his lines. I thought that was amusing.
It was.
And then before all this, I got an ad for Smile. 4 to 6 months can fix a gap in your teeth. Just so you know, it's a nice little ad. I was like, I don't have a gap in my teeth, but future. But yeah, I love the statistics. So I wrote them all down, so I'm gonna go over them really fast. 627 people have entered the Royal Rumble and failed to win. There have been 23 winners up to this point. Stone Cold leads with all eliminations with 36. 11 has the most, or 11 is the most in one with Kane. 62-12. Rey Mysterio is the. What did I do?
I can tell that he just read that.
No, I was trying to.
No, dirty.
Carry on.
Oh,
the chat. I'm reading the chat. Carry on.
Oh yeah, I laughed at that a little while ago. Where am I?
Got a lot to do here.
Kane's 11 eliminations.
Yes. It's also the 12th Royal Rumble match that Kane is going to be in. 62-12 is the Iron Man. Rey Mysterio currently holds it. The record for shortest was set the year previously with 1 second with Santino Morelos. 3 championships by Stone Cold. Number 1 and 30. Number 30 have the most wins, or have the same amount of wins apiece with 2. And 27 is the one that's won the most. And then 70% of all winners went on to win their championship match at WrestleMania. Those are the stats.
Just to be clear, this was the 2010 stats for all you haters out there.
This was 12 years ago.
We understand that all these have been broken.
Yes.
Are any of them? Well, Santina is still
I don't know if
Still
that one
holds
is.
the record.
Yeah, but like I think Braun Strowman took over the eliminations in a single match.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
it
it's
was
12.
it was tied by Brock Lesnar
last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
or 2 years ago. I think the rest of it still stands.
Okay.
Weird. Well, obviously, there's more than 627 that have
Right.
lost it now. So with that out of the way, we get to the first entrant. My boy.
I am perfection. I am perfection. I am perfection. I am perfection. Yeah.
His actual music at the time.
remix.
The first of many original musics that kind of threw me for a loop. Dolph Ziggler, who has the worst music. And then number 2, we have Evan Bourne, who is obviously still going around, not as Evan Bourne, like he's Matt Sydal. But he looks the same. Like, that's one thing I noticed throughout this Rumble, as it being 12 years ago, there's a bunch of people that are still going today and still are performing at a very high level. Dolph Ziggler and Matt Sydal are 2 of those. So the only real spot for the first 2 guys was Evan Bourne doing a lovely moonsault on Dolph Ziggler. And then at number 3, CM Punk. I remember watching this for the first time. I was a big Punk fan. And number 1 to number 10 is, like, this is my favorite opening segment of any Royal Rumble ever. Like, he gets in and he tosses both Dolph and Evan Bourne out of the ring, no problem, and then gets on the mic. He says that they are just the first of the 29 others that are going to get thrown over the ring. And I was like, excuse me, Punk. 27 others? You
Correction.
turd. And then, so he talks on the mic a little bit. His whole straight edge society stuff. And then JTG from Crime Time.
There it is.
That's not JTG.
Y'all remember this one?
Yeah. Kill switch engage.
This is a long time ago.
Yep.
Brooklyn.
JTG gets in from Crime Time and immediately gets thrown out by CM Punk. Yay. And then he gets back on the mic.
So was it the first 5? Or
no, that was number 4.
Okay.
So then at this point, I note how much I love Matt Stryker on commentary. I think he's fantastic. Not during this match, but previously, I loved Matt Stryker.
I enjoy Matt Stryker, but he got on my nerves kind of this match.
Yep,
I think he was getting on Lawler's nerves too.
He absolutely was.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I loved him. Because he did that to Lawler. He would make, before he got in trouble for doing this, he would make Lawler look like an idiot a lot of the time, and Lawler would get pissed at him.
Yeah.
Which I always found hilarious. So up next, we have the Great Khali, who comes in and has a useless
big stiff
head squeeze.
He says, raise your right hand.
Yeah, if you want to enter the straight edge society, and then I guess just like this.
Squeeze
the vice.
Yep. That's the first 5. What do you guys got?
So I have 2 things. I only have 2 things for the first 5. And one is this the only shooting star press that's ever been in the Rumble from Evan Bourne?
What did I call it? A moonsault? Shooting star press.
Called it moonsault, but it was shooting star press.
Yeah,
But is it
that's
the
what I
only
meant.
one we've ever seen in a Rumble? Because I think it might be. And also, this isn't the first time. No, this isn't the only time. Excuse me, that CM Punk basically holds the Rumble hostage. He actually does it one other time next year at when he's the leader of the New Nexus.
Yes, but they're in the ring with him. Mostly.
Right,
yeah. He's by himself in this one.
Right.
I did like that too. Next year's.
What I got is, I wonder if Dolph Ziggler knew right here in 2010 that he was going to be one of the best sellers of all time. I wonder if he knew that or not. Just curious. I don't know.
I hope so. Because he is. He's supremely talented.
He's guys, I swear, if he's not the best, he's in the top 3.
I've been a Dolph fan for a long time. He's always he's given me Shawn Michaels vibes. As far as you could tell that he obviously looked up to Shawn Michaels.
Just minus the charisma, and because Dolph Ziggler can't talk, like he just can't.
I remember calling Evan Boring. Of that. I thought too. You know, like when Punk went down and kind of gave Serena like a kiss or something before he went. I was thinking he went down and whispered to her, you know, in 12 years, we're going to be in a new company called AEW.
Right. Both of us.
He knew.
He knew. And then, for Kali, I wrote, yay, fucking stiff.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Great job.
Alrighty. Anyway, that's all I got.
What does his name mean? Like the big fertilizer or something like that? I think that's what Kali
so
means.
he's the big shit?
Yes. I think that's legitimately what it means. I'm not Indian, but one of those languages.
No idea.
So first 5 down, number 6.
The Glamazon.
Beth Phoenix. I like her music, by the way. She gets in and smooches the Great Khali right out of the ring.
No.
That made me laugh. She smooched him right out. Fucking useless. And then after that, Punk hits the GTS on Beth. Up next, we have at number 7.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Oh, radio, tell me everything you know.
Zach said, in 12 years, I'm going to be one of the hottest guys on the independent wrestling scene. I bet if he told himself that, he probably would have never thought it.
I also hope that number 7 Zack Ryder looked at his jock choice of the day with the one long boy and one short boy and thought to himself, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever done in my entire life.
At the time, he was thinking, I'm unique.
Yeah, I know. One leg down, one split.
He's like, oh man, when Ruby Soho comes to the WWE, she's going to knock me out.
He was before his time. The man was before his time.
He would go on to inspire Ruby Soho and hundreds of other female jobbers in the indie scenes.
All right.
At this point, bye-bye Beth Phoenix. More mic work that is cut short because then Zack Ryder gets thrown out, and I put so long fuckface. Number 8, finally, massive pop for one Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H.
It's all about the game.
The whole time when he was walking to the ring, I was thinking to myself, I can't wait for the God of War movie, which is inevitably going to happen, and I really hope they cast Triple H as Kratos. Because nowadays he is a dead ringer.
Yeah, legit.
For old Kratos. It's amazing. So, I mean, I know he can't act because he was in the
Blade
fucking... Yes, and the Scooby-Doo Ghost Bear mystery movie, and it was awful. So that's number 8. And then number 9, Drew McIntyre. First of all, Jesus Christ, he looks like he's 12.
God, I know. Boy, has he evolved.
Yeah. Second of all, he was clearly headed for bigger and better things back then. Why did they put him in 3MB? Like, why was he ever in 3MB?
Like, he went from hideous to hunk, obviously.
Yeah.
Dude's a freaking...
Like New Day was made. All these guys, they weren't doing nothing with, but obviously somebody got it right.
Back then, he looked like a freaking... He just hit puberty. Now he's a big old piece of man meat.
Yeah, he looked like he came out and they were like, Drew McIntyre, I went like this. Huh? Like I didn't recognize him at first. It's weird.
No facial hair.
And then we have my favorite elimination. Well, one of my favorite eliminations of the match. CM Punk goes to give Triple H a GTS. GTS like hits the ground, catches it, reverses it, and throws Punk out. Love that elimination.
Yeah.
And then finally, for my portion, at number 10, we have Ted DiBiase proving that talent isn't genetic. Like he's bad.
Yeah.
I always,
first time.
I always wanted him to be so good.
This was the legacy. This was during the legacy.
Yeah, legacy.
Yeah.
He's just not.
Yeah.
What do you guys got for 5 through 10?
All right, I'll go first. The Primo can pick up from there. What I had was Beth looked in great shape, as you know, but like just awesome. But I was laughing because the GTS hit her in the stomach from Punk.
Yep. Right in the old meat basket.
Yeah. He got her in the cage. So so that was kind of funny. And then the other thing that made me laugh was Matt Stryker talking about Zack Ryder. He says, just for all you guys know, his music is track number 11.
That's literally what I wrote down.
Uh-huh.
That's what I wrote down.
That was great. Yeah.
Last thing was Triple H, not nowhere as big as he was in the Rumble 2001 that we watched. Yeah. So he had slimmed down considerably. And,
he was.
Yeah, Drew looked so young. That was the other thing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I had the same thing as Zack Ryder came out. Matt Stryker. Yeah, for all those, this is track 11 on WWE's music. He's putting over the latest soundtrack. And speaking of soundtrack, I wrote down because at the time Drew McIntyre, he won the IC Championship fairly quickly.
Yeah,
because he was the hand-picked chosen one from Vince McMahon.
Sure.
But he still didn't have music, so I wrote Drew McIntyre's super generic ass music. That's all I put.
They had to give him something. He didn't have anything then.
And then just the irony of that stare down between Punk and Triple H.
Yeah. I know, right? They are going to go on to hate each other's guts.
But it shows, when it comes down to business, you still work, do the job.
That's right.
So, at number 11, we had John Morrison.
Now listen, this ain't no make believe. Come on.
He ran to the Rumble at regular speed. So,
just cruising.
So, yeah.
He ran at regular speed.
So that goes on. This goes on for a while because we ended up not having any eliminations for a little bit. We start filling up the ring here now that CM Punk isn't eliminating everybody. Number 12, we had the Big Red Machine Kane into the ring, but he did it uniquely as he enters from the top rope, and then
it's weird.
Immediately, because he goes from the top rope to a clothesline, top rope clothesline. And then he goes and double choke slams Morrison and McIntyre. From there, this is one of the parts where Matt Stryker got on my nerves. Because he said, because Legacy's music hits, right?
Right.
Ted DiBiase is already in the damn ring.
Yeah.
So he goes, number 13, he goes, it's got to be Cody Rhodes. And I said, no shit, Matt Stryker. The other half of Legacy's already in the ring.
Shut the fuck up, Matt Stryker.
Who can it be? Who can it be? It's gotta be.
Oh, God.
So, Cody Rhodes comes in, a younger Cody Rhodes. He's whispering to all those guys, too, about being an EVP of that company.
Yep. It's like, hey, guys.
I actually have a stat on this at the end. But anyway, number 14, MVP comes out, but gets ambushed by The Miz as he's walking towards the ring. MVP is then helped to the back.
Sure.
So we at this point we still have everybody in there. Freaking DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, Kane, Johnny Morrison, and McIntyre. So number 15 hits my cousin Carlito.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Man, you're kin to all these wrestlers, aren't you?
Carlito
Colon's your brother. Carlito's your cousin. Who's your dad?
I'm related to the Colones in Puerto Rico. So
yeah,
he comes out to spit in everyone's face for not being cool. That number 16. Oh, sorry, that's 15. So what you guys got for 11? Because we're just filling up the ring right now.
So for the next 5, I put the Starship Pain shouldn't hurt. Like, it doesn't look like it hurts at all.
I feel like it hurts him more than it hurts.
I know. But it is very cool looking. but I don't see why that's any kind of move. After I can't remember which one entered the ring, but I was like, guess who doesn't belong in this ring right now? And it was, of course, Ted DiBiase because everyone else was good. I did like the mid-air drop kick that Cody hit on who was it that jumped off the top rope? And it was Johnny Mundo. And then I put Miz has always looked like a douche, even 12 years ago. Because he had like that stupid fucking faux hawk, and I'm very anti-Miz this week.
This is before he got like veneers.
Yes. Then it's like a mid-Carter jamboree in the ring right now. And Carlito botched a backstabber on Drew McIntyre a little bit. It was a little awkward looking. That's what I got so far for those.
The only thing I had for that was Cody's hair, black.
Jet black.
At the time, yeah. During Legacy. And Carlito was so much smaller. He's a monster now.
Yeah, he is.
He was tiny.
Big dude now.
Yeah, that's all I had for up until that point.
Also, you talked about the drop kick. I also liked that I always liked Cody Rhodes' disaster kick that he does off the ropes. So, moving on to number 16, The Miz comes out. He gets in the ring and starts to go right after Morrison, his former tag team partner, but MVP re-enters the chat and eliminates both himself and The Miz so they can continue to fight on the outside.
Sure.
Number 17, Matt Hardy comes in and almost immediately gets him eliminated. Also, side note, I forgot about Matt Hardy's tights phase. And
they're like, he's the heart and soul of SmackDown.
Yeah, it was.
Get the fuck out.
It was weird.
And tights face, yeah, a bit strange.
Kane was eliminated right after Hardy, and Triple H then proceeded to spinebuster everyone. Then he was getting jumped right as number 18, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives the girls wild.
Comes in and DX starts cleaning house. Carlito's eliminated. Cody's gone. Ted DiBiase's gone. So, side note there. Ted DiBiase lasted longer than Cody.
He did. Yeah.
Ted DiBiase's gone. John Morrison's gone. Now McIntyre is alone with both members of DX before he gets eliminated. Now HBK and Triple H have a brief stare down right before number 19 comes out. Unfortunately,
had to do that.
Unfortunately, we could not see him because it was John Cena.
We're still wondering who number 19 was.
Well played.
I wrote down also, John Cena was already getting booed in 2010.
Yes, he was.
He eats a pedigree, but right afterwards, Triple H eats some sweet chin music as Shawn Michaels eliminates his partner there. So basically, he got one over before Triple H before it could be the other way around. You know, if you remember Triple H's words, he wouldn't hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
And then at number 20, we have the Golden Standard Mama's Boy, Shelton Benjamin shows up. And he is easily the most athletic person in the ring at this time, standing in there with John Cena and HBK, until John Cena throws him out, of course. Now, John Cena and HBK are one-on-one as we head into number 21.
So, for 15 through 20, I do have that Triple H spinebusters all the mid-carders.
He does.
And then when
mid-card spinebuster.
When everybody eat this shit.
When Shawn Michaels hit the ring, then it's like someone blew the whistle at the pool for all the children to get out so the adults could now swim. So that was Adult Swim time when Shawn Michaels came. John Cena showing up. I thought it was the perfect entrant at number 19 with just HBK and Triple H in the ring. Did you guys notice the guy wearing the We Hate Cena t-shirt in the crowd who then proceeded to mark the fuck out when Cena got into the ring. It's like, come on, man, you're making a liar out of your t-shirt.
Always love the "We Cena Enough" signs. You see
Those are good.
Those are great.
I know I'm a giant nerd, but I always loved it when John Cena did the double 5-knuckle shuffle.
It's so weird.
Like, he's so awkward. He's like,
I know, but I loved it to begin with because he's like, like look down and be like,
and he just double stop.
Oh god.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then there was a great camera shot after Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music's. That was hard to turn into a verb. Triple H out of the ring. Like, it's like a profile shot of Shawn just like staring down at him. I was like, that's a really cool. Kevin Dunn, you do have some sort of use in the company, even though you're a giant turd and everyone hates you.
Besides just excessive zooming and shaking.
Yes. He's a talented guy when he wants to be. And that's what I have for 15 through 20.
The only thing I had was Michael Cole said that Matt Hardy was already in his 7th Rumble here in this one in 2010.
7th.
So that was kind of cool. Heart and Soul of SmackDown. Matt Hardy.
Heart and Soul of SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. All right, so here we go. Yoshi fucking Tatsu
comes
out at number 21.
Hell yes, he does.
With John Cena and Shawn Michaels lying in the ring. Yoshi jumps in, gets his stuff in. They sell for Yoshi. Then Cena throws him out after he kind of gets his stuff in. So, all right, number 22. It can't be a Royal Rumble without AJ's favorite Royal Rumble participant, The Big Show.
Well,
they all attempt to get each other out, get The Big Show out, all that kind of stuff. Shawn does his famous 95 spot where his toes almost touch the floor. He does that during this time when Big Show gets in the ring. So they're going at it. Next person to come out, number 23, is Mark Henry, world's strongest man. He joins John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Big Show in the ring. Mark faces off with the Big Show and then pretty much body slams him right after that. Right after the body slam comes through, number 24, Chris Masters, the Masterpiece, who comes in and he's going after Shawn Michaels right off the bat. Big Show grabs him, throws him out. He don't last very long. Number 25 is R-Truth, who comes in and eliminates Henry and Show when Henry and Show are both trying to get each other out. They're hanging over the ropes. R-Truth comes in, does the old, grabs the one leg that Show's standing on, at the time and chunks them both over. So he takes out Henry and Show. And then with the classic leg dump, and dumps them both over. So it was and right about now too is the note that I wrote that says it seems like King is starting to get really annoyed with Stryker right here during this time. So 20 through 25, boys, what do you got?
I only have one note, and it's just Cena's expression when Big Show's music hits. He's like, oh, fuck.
Right. I'm already tired, man.
Yeah.
Mirrored my expression. So
Yeah.
I do like to look for the audible groans from the crowd whenever.
Sure.
And this is the loudest one that we've seen so far is when Big Show hits. Not only was John Cena like, oh, like the whole front row went, oh. like no one likes you, Big Show. Like, get the fuck out of here. I do like that Mark Henry could obviously lift Big Show if he wanted to, which he then does 8 seconds later because he tried to struggle with it at first.
Yep.
I do like that R-Truth gets both the giant turds eliminated.
Yeah.
That was great. And then Chris Masters sucks. That's what I got.
Also, when Cena lifts up Mark Henry and then falls, it looks like Mark Henry falls on his head.
Yeah, it did look a little...
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it was a little scary at times. All right, let's get to the finish here. Coming out at number 26, let's see if you remember this entrance music.
We, the people.
No.
We,
this was
people.
All right, so Jack Swagger joins John Cena, Shawn Michaels, and R-Truth in the ring. And Swagger comes in, probably as fired up as I've seen anybody fired up. His hair is standing up. He's so fired up, and it's great to see. Next up comes out number 27, the Jamaican version of Kofi Kingston. He joins the party. As Stryker says, he is in the number 27 spot that has produced the most winners. And so he immediately tangles with Jack Swagger and eliminates him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number 28, Chris Jericho, break the walls down, comes in. He comes in like a fireball too. Kofi eliminates R-Truth. So we get Cena, Shawn, Kofi, and Jericho. All right. So Cena gives Jericho the AA. Shawn elbows Jericho too off the top rope. Kofi hits Shawn with the Trouble in Paradise, and then Cena catches him sleeping and eliminates him.
Boo.
So, technical difficulties here. Coming in at number 29.
Hey, Madarango.
All right, so Edge makes a big return. I mean, this is big time stuff here, man. He is making a return. The crowd goes nuts. He hands out spears to everybody. He returns after he was supposed to be out for 14 months due to injury, but he has returned here in 8 months. Edge throws out Jericho, and then the last man, number 30, is up next. So before we get to number 30, guys, let's talk about everything that's happened here up to this point before we get to the final.
Okay. So I put, when Jericho comes in, he absolutely dropped Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, bad.
Definitely.
And then as I just put, as I always say, I put this when Edge came out. As I always say, never bet against Bearded Edge. I knew it when I watched it live in 2010. I still believe don't bet against Bearded Edge to this day.
Babyface Edge, or like clean-shaven Edge, you're bet against him all you want, but like Bearded Edge, nothing?
Sometimes.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for this, I have a legitimate question. I spent way too much time thinking about this. It was bothering me. So every time Shawn Michaels went up to the top rope to like do an elbow drop or something, he didn't jump up onto the top rope from inside the ring. He would go outside the ring and then climb up to the top rope. If he got knocked off the top rope, would he be eliminated? Because he's technically not. Yeah, because he leaves the ring underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not technically in the ring.
So he's not. Yeah, so he's not in the ring. You're just saying he's not in the ring when he's on the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, he's not in the ring. Like he didn't leave over the top rope.
We're counting in the ring as on the mat.
Right.
Yeah.
But so to be eliminated, you would need to crawl over the top rope, go over to the pole, climb up, and then if somebody pushes you off,
then you're because you're in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird. I don't know.
Like when he was climbing the.
It's a kayfabe rule. We need not to discuss AJ
because they were freaking out about it. They're like, "Oh, this is so risky." It's Shawn Michaels. I'm like, "Why? He went underneath.
He went through the ropes. He's okay.
Yeah, he went through it. He didn't go over.
We don't really know.
So he would have to like go over. Like he went through the ropes and then go up. Then if he got knocked off, he could just get back in and then go up. And then if he got knocked off, then he's in. Then he's out. That's legitimately all I had because I thought about this for a good 5 minutes straight.
All right, so here we get to number 30. Blue Batista comes out. He joins John Cena, Edge, and Shawn Michaels as the final four. All right, so Batista previously won the 2005 Rumble. All right, so we get this thing started with Shawn starts to rally. He's really getting in his stuff. The sweet chin music is getting handed out to Batista, Edge, and Cena. And then Batista eliminates Shawn right after that. Shawn looks defeated, stunned, because he needed to win this match to face The Undertaker. as we talked about, and we'll hear a little more. But so he gets in the ring with, Batista.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to write my notes here.
Sean.
Yeah.
It's a wrestling podcast.
Well, no, I was trying to read what my notes here. So, so gets in the ring, sweet chin music, and then Cena eliminates Batista. Edge looks for the spear on Cena, and as they are the last two in the ring, Cena runs at Edge. He kind of moves out of the way and throws Cena out to win the 2010 Royal Rumble, which I kind of rewinded that because I was like, oh wait, that kind of happened kind of quickly when it got down to just them two there. So the reason why I picked this one was the great story of Edge returning. He just returned again not long ago. So this was, this is one that kind of stuck out in my mind here. So what did you guys think about the finish there? Sean being, really devastated was a good storyline after this. So
I put, I'm a big fan of the Final Four. Sean, Batista, Edge, and Cena. And I like how this Rumble had the story behind it, with Sean being obsessed with his rematch, and then whenever he didn't get it, he's just freaking mind blown.
When he got thrown out of the ring, he jumps back in, starts asking the ref. He's like,
wait a minute. He's like, let me back in.
Yeah, come on.
Wait, Macho Man rule. Come on.
Right, yeah.
So I put, I absolutely love the finish. The final three were fantastic to me because they were all rivals. Cena and Edge is one of my all-time favorite rivalries. And, I love this Rumble. And the Edge return, it's just his Edge return in 2020 when he returned before COVID, obviously received a bigger pop than this one, but this one
was pretty big.
It held up for a long time.
Yeah. It was a legit surprise.
Yeah.
So for this, I wrote, I was saying Bautista. I hated Bautista at this time. But I agree with all of it. Like, the Edge winning was fantastic. This Rumble, to me, like, how a lot of times, like, during, like, the mid-card spots or, like, the hardcore spots, you get kind of bored and you're like, eh. But in this Rumble, there was no boring section. Like, even when it was all mid-card jobbers, you saw Triple H in there, like, feeding everyone spine busters. And the whole Shawn Michaels storyline, I absolutely... Like, this is my favorite... Like, I remember this is the most that I've ever rooted for Shawn Michaels was during this time period. I love Shawn Michaels right now. But yeah, I love this. I love this Rumble. I love the CM Punk segment. I love how he got eliminated. I thought it was fitting.
Yeah.
This is 2 monster thumbs up for this Rumble.
Yeah, me too. And then to just kind of tell you what happened after this. So the next pay-per-view right after this was Elimination Chamber, which oddly was held in St. Louis. Sean ended up costing Taker the WWE title, so they fought at Mania in a excellent match, but ended up being a retirement match that Taker won. So we all very familiar with that one. Edge challenged Jericho at Mania, but lost. Batista and Cena continued their feud, and then Vince McMahon would take ECW off the air the next month right after this pay-per-view. So the final episode of ECW was on February the 16th. So this, in 2010, officially made it the last Rumble to where the winner got a choice at any 3 of the brand belts.
Who in God's name would win that and be like, I want to fight Mike Awesome? Like,
yeah, right.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, no.
Yeah,
no, you do not, you turd.
Yeah, pretty wild though. All right, AJ, so let's Primo here real quick, man, before we move on. Starting in February, we're going to be doing our Sunday night. We're going to be covering famous Sunday night heats. Next week, we're going to have the Kurt Angle debut, and also
you mean this Kurt Angle?
That Kurt Angle. But this last one in January, man, we've had a blast watching these Royal Rumbles, man. Tell me real fast, man, how much you guys have enjoyed this.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. Royal Rumble, I don't know how many times we said this now, but Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I feel like Royal Rumble is the one that it's super easy to go back and watch.
Yeah.
The easiest, I feel like.
Yeah. Right. And I really enjoyed it. All four of these were awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these were good choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always I always try to find one that I forgot who won. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, even if I remember later on. But
I think out of the four, I got to stay with the 01 as my top.
As your favorite?
For out of the four. Also, a little side note, on the current roster, 2010 roster of that Royal Rumble.
Yes.
I counted 8 that are currently in AEW, 9 if you count Serena.
I was hoping that you would have some sort of stat, because I meant to do that and then I forgot to do it.
Nice.
Wait, can we name them? It's Cody Rhodes, Swagger, Jericho, Serena, Evan Bourne, 5.
Zack Ryder's been on there before.
And we can count him. I didn't count him in my numbers, but
yeah.
I can look back through this real quick.
There's
a lot were in the beginning.
A lot of them, yep.
But yeah, so yeah, there were 8, 9.
Oh, CM Punk.
CM Punk, obviously.
Fucking duh. All right, I got 6.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, Matt Hardy.
Yep.
7.
All right, boys. Anything else here before we move on? You got for the Rumbles?
As far as these, no, it was great. I loved them.
Yep. I loved all month. I think this one overall was my favorite. This or 2002. It's hard to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 92 just because my guy Flair won. So, and it's just awesome. So, but I enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to these Sunday night heats. They were a lot of times preempted pay-per-views. So, they got a little raunchy. They did a lot of stuff to try to make people buy the pay-per-view. So these are going to be good. So looking forward to watching those. So if you want to go watch, so you can listen and follow along next week. So March the 7th, 1999, Sunday Night Heat. Kurt Angle makes his debut. APA versus Public Enemy is a absolute slobber knocker.
Hey, can you kick people?
Huh?
Can you kick people?
Oh yeah, slobber. And just a slobber knocker kind of match. So, all right. Let's get to the Dropkick Discussion. Excuse me, not Dropkick. Let's get to promo school time with Kurt Angle. All right, so this particular promo school that I have here for you today, Kurt Angle, this was in 2006. He cut a promo on RVD. So this is kind of one that I found was a kind of little, it's a little on the intense side. So check this one out from Kurt Angle, 2006.
My name is Kurt Angle. Tonight I face Rob Van Dam. If I beat Rob Van Dam, I'll earn the right to compete for the WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event. But you already knew that. What you probably don't know is, since April 2nd, I consider every day a failure. Because April 2nd, WrestleMania, was the last day I held a championship belt. And every single night, I come home, and my wife kisses me. And my 3-year-old girl, my little girl, looks me in the eyes, and she hugs me. And I put this fake smile on my face. But inside, I hate myself because I am a champion. I am the greatest champion this business has ever seen. And if getting the chance to be a champion again means taking Rob Van Dam, a man I personally have no problem with, and beating on him so badly and putting him in such agonizing pain, he prays to God to go back in time so he can choose another line of work, then that's what I'll do. It's what I have to do. Because failure is not an option. Not when your name is Kurt Angle.
Pretty good promo there from Kurt, man. That was a little intense, huh?
Yeah, so he's sitting here pouring his heart out, giving an intense promo, right? And you got this one dude in the background going, "You suck, pussy!"
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like, he's sitting here trying his hardest to give his promo. And this one guy like shouting out insults at him.
One fucking troll.
All right, guys. So one last time here. The Kurt Angle Trophy is going back up this weekend. Is that time once again?
Woo! Come back home, baby.
We drew spots for the Royal Rumble here. I want to go over all the spots that we drew. So basically, whoever wins the Rumble at whatever spot was drawn wins the Kurt Angle Trophy. That's how we're putting it up here. So
retains the Kurt Angle Trophy.
Or retains. So let me read everybody's picks here for you. I'm gonna read mine first because mine are the worst. I got 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10. And then I got 12, 19, 22, 23, and 26. So I need that 26 to come through. AJ's got 6, 8, 9, 13, 14, 16. And then his final 4 picks are 21, 25, 27, and 29. Yes.
27, baby.
Primo's picks are 2, 4, 11, 15, 17, 18, 20. And then he's got 24, 28, and 30.
You know, I'm seeing a good chance of Kurt Angle staying right where he belongs.
Well, Kurt is making a trip to St. Louis, so whoever wins is going to be taking it home
be there, Kurt.
Or retaining, whichever one. So it's going to be fun this weekend. So, all right, boys, time to.
Real quick, I have something for you guys.
Go.
It's a stat that I compiled. You say your numbers are the worst, Dirty.
So,
the last 10 Rumble winners came from the following entry numbers: 1, 16, 10, 14, 23, 30, 19, 28, 19 again, and 22. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of those numbers.
Yeah.
You have the majority of them.
Those numbers don't mean shit, though. Somebody from 25 to 30 is winning this year.
Me and AJ each have 2, respectively, from the last 10 years.
That's no good.
Well, that makes it a little more, gives me a little more hope there. So we'll see. It's going to be fun, though. All right, it's time to close the show, boys. AJ, where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast? Tell the masses.
You know, where you get podcasts. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, SportsWire Online Radio at 6:15, right before
number 1
Thomas Bryce show. And while you're there, while you're listening, give us a 5-star review. Why not?
All right, listen up, guys. It's time to let's do these MMA picks here. Let me update you on how the weekend went here. All right, so we had the big UFC pay-per-view last weekend. AJ was 25-29 going into next week.
Treading in the wrong direction.
We had 5 picks. One of them dropped off. The Greg Hardy fight didn't happen. Did you hear that? Did you hear why, Primo, at all? Yeah, me neither. So, all right, so the Greg Hardy fight didn't happen. So, AJ, you started off 2-2. And you missed the last 2. So you were 2-2 for the weekend. You got the main event wrong and got one. So that brings you to a whopping 27-31.
Holding steady.
I have 4 fights for you to pick from this weekend. For the first time, you're going to be picking some Bellator MMA here. So
where's that, in Ireland?
Let me get to the card. I don't know where they're fighting at. All right, so first one up, Homasi versus Willis.
What was the first one?
Homasi?
With an H?
H,
yeah, we'll go with him.
Okay. Corrales versus Lee. Co-main event, Henderson versus Mamadov.
Mamadov.
Main event: Bader versus Moldavsky.
Bader.
Going with Bader. All right, Primo.
I'm going with the dirtiest sounding names.
Sounds good. All right, Primo, your MMA lock of the week. Coming into last week, you were 4-3. You took Nurmagomedov, or however you say that. I can't never say it right at the same time. And you were correct. He got the win. So that brings you to 5-3. What do you see on this Bellator card here to give the gamblers your MMA lock of the week? Little Bader there. Got Benson Henderson on
Ryan
the card.
Bader, the champion.
Yeah.
And, man, so Benson Henderson is my dude. I have to go with him. I saw him on the card, and I got excited.
But I didn't take Henderson, so you gotta.
I'm sorry.
You gotta switch it up.
Benson Henderson has tree trunks for legs.
He does. All right,
Maybe he's
let's see
slow.
how he does. All right, Primo. We know what's we're doing this weekend, but tell the masses what we're doing next week on the pod.
Well, masses, listen up.
Listen up.
We're going to give you the details from this weekend's Royal Rumble in St. Louis, because your boys, the sit-down marks, are going to be there, including also next week who picked the right number, or who drafted the right number, and took home the Kurt Angle trophy. It's going to be me, and much, much more. Also next week is the first pod of February, and we begin our month of reviewing classic WWE television show Sunday Night Heat. Starting off with Heat from 1999, including none other than Kurt Angle's debut.
Hell
Tune in,
yeah.
folks.
Yep, tune
They
in.
won't let you down.
That's right. All right, you guys got any notes here?
I do.
Yeah, I got a couple notes here. What you got?
Yeah, so I got two notes. One, I want to do a little. It's just it's not so much a game, but a little. I want to go back and forth between you guys. I had a quick little thing here. I got 10 names on my paper here. I want you. You got some time here, so give me between 1 to 10 that we see them pop up in the Rumble match.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we'll start with you, DB, with Veer.
That one's very high. 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
AJ, Asuka.
10.
Oh, 10.
I hope so. I think they're fucking win the Rumble.
DB, Bailey.
Yeah, I'm not thinking she's showing up as. Yeah,
Somebody said people are saying this is her injury isn't quite her recovery time isn't quite over.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a 50-50 shot. I think it's too early. I'm gonna say a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
AJ, Elias.
I'm gonna say 4. He's a surprise that no one will give a shit about, and they've said not a thing about him.
I'm pretty excited to see the.
I would love it because I love it.
I'll be pretty excited to see what they do with him. DB, Chris Jericho.
0.
0. Yeah. AJ, Corey Graves.
7. I think there's a pretty good chance that he makes his debut.
He's looking lean. I don't know if y'all seen that.
He did look super lean on Monday. Yeah. DB, we got John Morrison for a little Rumble spot.
3.
3.
Yeah.
AJ, speaking of just a little Rumble appearance. Bray Wyatt.
0.
0.
Absolutely 0 chance.
And DB, last one. Now I got one last one. I'll get an answer from both of you.
Okay.
This one's for you, DB. Any male superstars from Impact?
They're called wrestlers over there.
Any wrestlers from Impact Wrestling?
I mean, if it's anybody, I say it's Christian or Moose.
Christian's an AEW superstar.
I'm gonna go Moose.
I say Moose, but you'd say that's a 4?
Yes.
And for both of you.
Okay.
I already mine's like a 1. Honestly. The Rock.
Fucking 10, dude. Fucking 10. A 10, motherfucker. He's there.
He's not.
So,
I'm also gonna say 1.
Y'all gonna look at me when when that fucking music hits. Like,
I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm
They're
busy
gonna need to
passing
pay
out.
Rock. They're gonna need to pay him $5 million for one
Yeah.
tiny segment.
And then
on the
just
Royal
real
Rumble.
quick, I just have one last note, and that is question for each of us. What are we most excited for on Saturday? For me, I'm extremely excited to attend my first pay-per-view, and because it's the Rumble. I was originally disappointed way back when we bought I was excited, but then disappointed because I thought I was going to get to see Jeff Hardy. I've never got to see him before. I've never seen him. And then, but on the flip side, I'm extremely excited to see the likes of Edge, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and Rollins. And then I'm even excited to see Lesnar and Lashley face off.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura. They'll both be in the Rumble.
Oh yeah.
I'm super excited for the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns match. I think it's gonna be awesome. And I've never seen Brock Lesnar live, so I'm
either.
Excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Brock Lesnar. And then the Rumble match, of course, obviously.
For me, I'm excited to see the Rumble number one, just because the excitement. Every 2 minutes is like Christmas. You know what I mean? You're disappointed or you're super happy. You don't know.
Like the crowd energy during the Rumble.
Yeah. Like you get the socks or you get like the Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what I mean? Like yeah. So so that's what I'm like. Definitely like
good analogy.
Super excited about. But another thing too, y'all, is I haven't seen Roman live as the Chief. So
I haven't
music
either.
and all that. So as much wrestling as I've been to, that has not happened yet. So I'm excited for that. And, I'm excited to watch wrestling with my marks this weekend.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, Primo, we're excited that you're coming in, too.
I'm super excited. My kids are excited. They already started packing.
Dylan's joining us, too, man. Pumped for it. Randy Orton's going to throw out Riddle.
Yeah, that'll start there.
That'll start.
I didn't mention that earlier. Hometown, Randy Orton.
Yes.
Yes.
See, that's why I said St. Louis.
He's won, 2 already? He's not going to be a third.
Yeah.
Ty Stone Cold?
No way.
Ty Stone Cold. He got another championship run. He'd be a great opponent for either champ there. So, but one last thing I wanted to say too here is I mentioned it earlier. Like I just realized yesterday, and I wrote this down. I'm like, man, props to Matt Cardona. Kid is fucking getting it done on the independent scene. He's helping sell out the Hammerstein, at GCW. Mm-hmm. He's all over everything right now. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like everything except for the company he used to work for. You know what I mean? So props to him, man. He's getting it done, and just excited to see him, because I was at Mania 32 when he won the IC strap. He dropped it Monday night after. I was like fucking pissed.
I hated that.
You know what I mean? Like, so he's finally getting his due, man. I love it. He's making himself, man. And
what is that'd be a funny one for him to do a one-off at the Rumble.
Yeah, at the Rumble,
so he can add it to his gimmick.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. I've always liked Zack Ryder. I hated he got saddled with one of the most annoying fucking gimmicks ever, and he made it work. Like he's that good.
He is honestly the person who should get the credit for like pioneering some of the internet stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely he should.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty, boys. Let's put a bow on this thing, man. It's time to wrap up and get on down the road to St. Louis here soon. So be safe going to the Rumble. And if you see us at the Rumble, say hi, say hello. We'll have the Marks merch on, I'm sure. So, and come up and say hi. We might give you some free stickers. And some
I answered to Champ.
No, he doesn't. He answers the Primo.
Excuse me.
But also want to remind you, Dan Perch interview on the show next week. I'm excited, man. Let's get this Royal Rumble weekend started. But the only way to get it started is if AJ says those last few little words to take us home here.
I changed my shirt. Shit. Grab them cakes.